The dwarves named their new home Stonehall, carved deep into the heart of the liberated mountain. With Zara's help, they established trade with nearby human towns, shared knowledge, and celebrated a rare peace. Zara, though human, was made an honorary dwarf, her statue carved in living stone at the Hall of Heroes. But peace never lasts forever. A year after the fall of King Maelric, strange events began to occur in the deep mines. Tools vanished, crystals cracked without cause, and worst of all, miners went missing. Whispers of something ancient waking below the mountain grew louder. Zara, now a seasoned leader and ally of the dwarves, joined a council meeting in the heart of Stonehall. "We dug too deep," muttered Thrain Ironhand, the oldest of the mountain dwarves. "In the dark below, there are things that even Maelric feared. We've stirred them." Zara frowned. "Then we go find out what it is. Together." Zara, Thrain, and a party of the best dwarven warriors and miners descended into the forgotten depths, a part of the mountain sealed for generations. As they ventured down ancient stairs, the air grew colder, the walls marked with runes far older than dwarven script. There, they discovered an ancient vault, cracked open from the inside. Inside, carved in a forgotten tongue, was a warning. "Here lies Urgrath the Hollow, the undying hunger, sealed by blood, stone, and song. Wake him not." But they were too late. From the darkness beyond the vault, something stirred. Urgrath had once been a dwarven king, twisted by greed and dark magic into a being of endless hunger. His spirit, sealed away by the old dwarf kings, had fed for centuries on shadows and memory. Now free, he began corrupting the mountain itself. Stone twisted. Metal rusted. The very halls of Stonehall groaned as if in pain. The dwarves tried to seal the tunnels, but Urgrath's influence spread too quickly. Statues wept blood. Fires refused to burn. And Zara had a dream, of a throne made of bones and a crown of screaming voices. Realizing they could not fight Urgrath with swords alone, Zara and the dwarves sought knowledge. They traveled to the ruined archives of Maelric's fortress, where old texts spoke of the Heartforge, a mythical anvil said to craft weapons of pure spirit, able to wound even the undying. But the Heartforge had been lost in the Vale Caves, a cursed place shrouded in illusions. Zara, Thrain, and a small company set off to retrieve it, facing traps, mind-bending mazes, and ancient guardians. Along the way, Zara learned more about her own bloodline, that her great-grandmother had been a mountain witch, a speaker of true names. A rare power that might be the key to defeating Urgrath. With the Heartforge recovered, the dwarves forged a weapon of legend. Dawnzunder, a hammer that blazed with light against darkness. Zara, chosen by the forge, became its wielder. Urgrath, now a towering figure of shadow and stone, rose from the mountain's core, leading an army of wraiths. The final battle raged in the central chamber of Stonehall, where dwarves fought with desperate fury. Zara, wielding Dawnzunder, faced Urgrath alone atop the throne of bone. "You are mortal," Urgrath hissed. "You cannot kill what has already died." "No," Zara said, lifting the hammer. "But I can remind you what it means to live." She struck the ground, invoking her ancestral power, and calling Urgrath by his true name, Durkazel, binding his essence. Light poured through the halls. The undying hunger screamed as the hammer shattered him into ash. Peace returned to Stonehall, but it was no longer the same. The dwarves built a new shrine, not of war or kings, but of memory, honoring the cost of freedom. Zara, though offered the title of queen, declined. She chose to remain among the dwarves as a guardian, a friend, and a bridge between worlds. And in time, songs were sung not just of war and rebellion, but of a girl who taught the dwarves not just how to fight, but how to hope again. Stonehall thrived. The dwarves, once scattered and broken, now ruled the mountains with pride. Zara, still youthful and vigilant, remained a protector and emissary between races. Trade routes flourished. Artisans rediscovered lost technique. And for a time, the fires of war cooled. But deep within the southern crags of the ashen spires, something ancient stirred again, not born of greed or vengeance, but of prophecy. The land began to tremble, and in the night sky, a burning comet appeared. The dwarves knew it well. It marked the rise of the Ember Crown, a relic of fire said to choose a ruler not just of dwarves, but of all beneath the mountain. It had not been seen in over 1,000 years, and now it returned. Zara, older now but no less fierce, stood at the gates of Skydeep, the high fortress of the southern dwarves. She had come at the request of Queen Virelda Flamebeard, ruler of the Emberblood clan. The dwarves of Skydeep had always been distant, proud, insular, and obsessed with bloodlines. They had refused to recognize Stonehall's authority even after the fall of Urgrath. Now, with the comet overhead, they claimed that the Ember Crown rightfully belonged to them. "The crown does not belong to the strongest," Queen Virelda said coldly, "but to the purest. You have no place here, girl." Zara did not flinch. "We bled together. We died together. The mountain belongs to all dwarves. This isn't about bloodlines. This is about unity." But Virelda's heart was set. She had already begun preparations to seek the Ember Crown before anyone else could. And Zara knew what was coming. A new war, not of chains or shadows, but of pride. Legends told that the Ember Crown was hidden deep within Mount Carrigal, a dormant volcano at the edge of the world. Only one who passed the trial of flame could claim it. Fire spirits guarded the path, testing the heart of every seeker. Zara, Thrain, now an old but sharp-witted general, and a band of loyal dwarves set out toward the mountain. But so did Queen Virelda, and she brought not only her warriors but a hidden ally, a fire giant named Thazer who had sworn to burn any who opposed her. Inside the mountain, the trial began. The mountain twisted perception. Each seeker faced illusions of their worst fear. Zara saw herself alone, surrounded by ash, the dwarves calling her a usurper. Thrain saw Stonehall burning again. Others saw their loved ones betray them, or worse, forget them. But Zara, with her unshakable resolve, broke through the illusions. She reminded the spirits of her sacrifice against Urgrath, of the dwarves she fought beside, of the harmony she helped build. And the spirits whispered, "You may not be of stone, but your heart is forged in fire." She was marked as a bearer of the Emberlight, worthy to claim the crown. But before she could reach it, Virelda struck. In the molten heart of Mount Carrigal, Virelda ambushed Zara's group. With Thazer the fire giant at her side, she demanded Zara surrender the right to the crown. "You are not dwarf-kind. You are a pretender. Your flame is borrowed, not born." Zara stood firm. "The mountain doesn't care about blood. Cares about truth. And your truth is poisoned by pride." Battle erupted. Thrain held the line with a group of Hammerguard while Zara dueled Virelda near the molten pit. Blow for blow, steel rang against steel. Lava boiled. Rock cracked. But as Virelda struck what could have been a killing blow, Zara whispered the true name of fire, Kadunmarash, learned from the flame spirits themselves. Thazer roared as the flame abandoned him. Virelda, in shock, fell to her knees. Zara took no vengeance. Instead, she offered her hand. "Come with us. Be part of something greater." Virelda, humbled and broken, wept, not from defeat, but from understanding. Together, they ascended the final step. The Ember Crown was no mere artifact. It was a living flame, hovering above a pedestal of obsidian. As Zara approached, it flickered. It asked nothing. It understood. And it crowned her, not just as a ruler, but as a protector. Not of one kingdom, but of all who lived beneath the mountain. Zara felt its fire pass through her, not burning, but awakening. Her hair shimmered like embers. Her eyes glowed gold. But she turned to the dwarves and said, "This crown is not mine to wear alone. Let it be a symbol of unity. A reminder that we are strongest together." And thus, she created the Council of the Flame, with leaders from each dwarven clan, including Virelda, governing together in peace. Years later, the story of the Ember Crown was told across mountains and valleys. Dwarven children spoke of Zara Flameheart, the human girl who walked into the mountain and came out a queen, not by blood but by spirit. Thrain passed peacefully in his sleep, honored with a tomb of crystal and song. Virelda became a fierce ally and protector of the new alliance. And as for Zara, she did not live forever. But her legend did. And when the next comet crosses the sky, the dwarves will remember her words. We are not born of fire. We become it.